Hi, how are you? Good, I'm Darmatron. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to pull out Mike's teacher tricks, but I will if I have to. He's gonna start the shoot here soon.
If you can, no, we will save that for later. Okay, first off, if you ordered these shirts, they are in. Wow. They're up in our office. Some of you, a lot of you pay. All right, everybody, let's get going.
Remember, the speakers are on, so everybody can hear everything you're talking about. I'll quiet down.
I'm like my old Vander days. I'll make you run laps. Go around this building.
Good.
No, so your shirts are in if you ordered them. Some of you did not pay yet. You want to pay when it comes in. So we've got those up there also. And if you charge your account, they're all up in our offices. So,
Are we gonna do a second order? I think some people now have FOMO because of that.
really, we could.
Agreed. I just heard Chrissy say. That's true. Okay.
Okay, so we'll get a second order going on those. Let's see. Also, as you're getting ready to say hi to people, the coffee's not here, so you can grab some coffee. You have 1 minute to say hi to anybody you don't know. If you're online, chat with somebody you don't know. And you'll notice there's more seats up here with tables. Feel free to come to the
We
front.
promise we don't spit.
It's like a bunch of Baptists in here.
Yeah.
All right, say hi. Meet some people.
And I'm happy to
If you can hear me, clap once. If you can't hear me, clap twice. All right, so everybody would like to mention our affiliates and our vendors who are here. Who do we have?
Let's start here. Bryant, you'll be the first one, front row. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. My name's Bryant Young, insures the Ozarks, and I'm gonna start bringing jokes, but I didn't put it in my phone, so I'll see how next one.
Michael will have you the perfect pair. Derek.
Derek Cheney, the home loan expert with Mid-Missouri Bank, conveniently located right across the parking lot. So I'm here for all of your lending needs.
Cool.
Cindy and Christy, yeah.
Hi, Cindy. I'm Christy with Great American Title. Smooth closings without a lot of surprises. 15 locations around the Ozarks to serve you. If you want to add to your team or make a change, I'm here to talk to you. Thank you.
Good. Flood Branch.
Hi, I'm Sue Ferrante with 417 Home Loans. I'm your lending lady for life. I just want to let you know if you need somebody to hustle or buns to make deals happen after hours, it's this girl. I was pulling everything I could for self-employed borrowers this weekend, and I'd happily do it for any of you in this room. Thank you for letting me be here.
Yes. Yes.
Good morning, Jess Bowman Insurance Group. And you guys are the best, and we just appreciate you guys, and we're always here to assist anybody we can.
Thank you. Adam.
Adam McGrath with Perion Insurance Agency, and I think I've known Bryant since I first started, so I'm glad to see him here. You too, buddy.
New faces every week. I'm going to the back. Promise I don't miss
If
you.
we miss you, let us know.
Sir, yes.
Carl McDougall with Docs on Home Inspection. Your one-stop shop for home inspections in the Ozarks. Offer everything, home inspection, termite, radon, mold, manufactured home foundations, all that good stuff.
Scope.
Sewer scope, yeah, do sewer scope, septic systems,
Apparently it's been a need.
Experience over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah, a little bit. I've been hanging out with the KW crowd for a little over a year now, so thank you, Shanna. She's the one that invited me in. So if you hate me, you can blame her. If you love me, you can thank her. But, yeah, we're here for all your home inspection needs. Thank you.
Awesome.
And you,
Thanks,
and you
Carl.
all know the number one rule of real estate, never borrow a tape measure from a septic inspector.
Nicole, do I have anyone online or are we good for vendor? Nope. Okay, awesome. Onward. I'll let you announce if you would like. I almost said, I didn't want to say your thing. I was gonna say the newly engaged Haley Price, everyone.
Contract.
Negotiating for 6 years, finally under contract. Surprise, Haley with Onward, newly engaged. Just to remind you all that Onward does transaction coordination, marketing management, sign running, and closing gift baskets. So you think of any newly engaged people that you need a gift basket for, wonderful Tish Wooten right here.
Where can they find you?
Find me up in the leadership office. I'm in Christine's old desk, right across from Ian, the man who pays you all, so easy to find.
She's having to take more breaks now because her hand's so heavy. She may respond to your email a little late. Awesome. Thanks, Hale.
Slow the left-hand side.
Okay, our mission is,
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. My favorite is when they added the legacies in there. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's more about just what we're doing today, but for future, not only for us and our families.
what I love is 2 of these are about business, the rest is about your life. Because that's why you do what you do, so you can have a bigger life.
And how many people get like told that they actually have a real estate business, not just a job?
Oh, they just get told you got a license, go do stuff till you die.
Yep.
You know, instead of building a legacy and building a whole process out of it, so.
Exactly.
All right, so each week we have a culture winner. Last week's winner was Colton. I always say his name wrong.
Would say, but call it Moose.
Yeah. And so he's nominated someone.
Yes,
Oh, but before they do not call people you're not supposed to, do not get sued. Always check the TCPA compliant friendly way.
Thank you. So good morning. The person he would like to nominate, he shows up to everything and is giving tremendous effort to grow his life and grow his business. Keep it up. And I will personally say this person's been at every single wealth building since we've started. So Robert Lindholm, which I don't think he's in here.
yeah.
He's a culture winner, but he's at the wealth.
We got a text.
Yeah, I can't read that. That's why I put it down.
His phone number, are you ready? Area code 940-399-7299. One more time, operators are standing by. 940-399-7299. Say congratulations, you're the culture winner.
I believe he also goes by Bobby as well. So if you don't want to call him Robert, you can call him Bobby. Makes it seem like you don't talk.
There we go. All right, okay, so we're going to family reunion. Some people are already gone. You're going early this week. We have people leaving Friday, Sunday. Next week is gonna be kind of crazy, but we have some of them that are gonna be live streamed.
Yeah, Nicole, do you want to talk about the logistics for the Market Center watch party? I know you and Landon nailed those down.
Yeah, so we are going to be showing it down in the training center and also in the tech room. So if you want to be a part of any of these, this is the schedule for it. We also have it in Central Time. So I'm going to share a Google form. You can go ahead and sign up. So then that way you can also choose what breakouts and live streams that you want to come to. So, and it also has everything in Central Time. That's very difficult to think about.
So the wonderful thing about this is none of them overlap, so you can attend all of them. The other things that's not on here is the vision speech and state of the company. Those are with Gary, Jay, Jason. Those will also be live streamed down here, and those you can find through KW Connect. But the Market Center opted for this package that KW provided, so that way we can watch it down here for that.
And you definitely want to try and get in for inspirational morning. It is Thursday morning.
I don't know if they will play that.
Oh, they meant, if they do, we'll get you info.
They are, it is part of the package.
Okay, cool.
So that will be, I think we figured out it's 11 o'clock our time here. So that is definitely worth seeing.
Yes, and like Nicole said, all of these are Pacific time zones, so that will be 2 hours behind the actual time. So
Yep.
just make sure you know that.
Okey doke. I saw Don come in. What brokery things do we have?
If you haven't paid your board dues yet, you should expect a phone call from me, and it's not gonna be very friendly. So if you know someone that hasn't done that yet, or you're like, oh, I've been putting that off, get it done. Because if you're not done by the end of February, you get to start all over again. Let that sink in, kids. So those of you out in Never Never Land too, make sure you're paying that. I won't be in town Tuesday or Wednesday, but I will be available, so don't worry about bothering everybody that's at family reunion. If you guys need something, let me know.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right, the rest of this week, we have a class called New Smarter Plans right
Smarter
after
smart
this.
plans.
Smarter Smart Plans, I missed that. Okay, and then contract class, remember, contracts change some since the beginning of the year. Make sure you're going through that. And you'll notice the wealth building is every Friday morning down here.
Yep.
And it's a live stream with Mark King.
Yeah, so
Sometimes-
Mark King hosts a wealth building every Friday at 7:30 in the morning. We do the replay. So we watch it for about 30 minutes and then we have a discussion over it. Last week was pretty interesting actually, and kind of convicting at times. He started off with, are you a saver or are you a spender? And so he went through that analogy around it, and it was interesting, the conversation that we had. One of the notes that I took is, if you make more than $32,000 a year, you are actually in the top 1% of the world in terms of income earnings.
More than what?
32,000.
32,000 a year. So just let that sink in and resonate of like, ooh, and then we also, are you tied into a saver or a spender? And then it asks, is your accountability partner the same as you? So if I'm a spender, is Mike my accountability partner and a spender as well? Because that's not gonna go well, because I'm like, treat yourself, buy that. Buy that. So, maybe not do that. And then, yeah, we're both spenders.
I know he's back there.
We're looking for a new accountability partner, but that's not working. DoorDash, you bet. Yeah, it's fun in our household. So we have a lot of fun, I guess. And the other part is having your core group of people. Who are your accountability partners as well? Who is your attorney partner? Who's your CPA? Who's your insurance broker? Who is your estate planner? Who's your tax strategist? And who's your mentor? Do you have those core people in your board of directors in your world? And if not, this is a perfect room to start building that for you.
So go back to our mission. Is it about selling real estate or is it about building a bigger life? And that's why we provide classes like that and you notice up here, every Monday's about lead gen. Every Tuesday is about tech, core, masterminds, wealth. We will help you build to whatever size you want your life to be. And there's no right or wrong, it's what you want, but all the tools are here.
And the really cool thing about that conversation was not even the wealth building conversation. Blake actually had a property kind of maybe going through foreclosure, and everybody in the room were talking about how could we help those people not get foreclosed on in order to still make some money, so then they wouldn't have that on their record. So that's where the conversation also turned into. So again, just the AHAs, agent helping agents, that was the conversation.
Very cool. And also next week, you'll notice there is no team meeting, but there are all those different masterminds that'll be scheduled down here. Today, we will be getting into Red Day prep. We've got some of our Red Day committee here. And you'll learn what Red Day is if you're new on that. And that is one of the best days of the year. Like I said, no team meeting next week. And then the week after, we'll be doing some AHAs from family reunion. So we have over 60 people going to family reunion. We have a huge group.
74 as of last night.
Oh my gosh, that's changed since last week. And guess what? It's not too late. We can still get you on there if you're trying to. So
I
if you
feel
want to
like
get
yesterday,
there.
people found some affordable flights out of Bentonville, and it was directed.
And Venice found a cheap one from Kansas City.
Mhm.
And I think McDonald's are flying from St.
St.
Louis for
Louis, yeah.
$200. So
Yep.
if you can do it, it's a life-changing thing. If you can get there, you gotta try and get there.
And so on that family reunion AHA panel, it will be a condensed version, and mark your calendars because March 7th from 3 to 4:30, we're actually doing a whole meetup. We're looking for an offsite location where we're going to dive deeper into what was talked about at family reunion. So if you are not attending, I would strongly encourage you to attend this session.
Can you go that time and date again?
Yep, March 7th from 3 to 4:30. And then I believe Trey will be leading it as career development chair.
Very cool. All right, MREO boot camp.
Yes, so Monica Reynolds, so let's just have a real conversation. Took a lot of pleading to get Monica to come here and be the first person or unit to ever launch this. And we are on the slim chance of getting it canceled because we do not have enough people. So if you are interested, please come talk to us. We do have a payment plan option we can set up because I know this is an investment. Also, if you have great referral partners in other areas, maybe in our region, send this to them. We would love for this to be a region-wide event. So one, it's a referral opportunity for you, but two, we can help other people because the only other way you can attend this is in Austin, Texas. So then you have flight fees, hotel fees, all of that. Now it's here in Springfield. I believe it'll leave with 26 playbooks, a binder this big full of all the information you need to know. Again, if you need someone to validate it, go talk to Jen Wolf at Evan and Austin's group because she's went to the class in Austin and she's attending again. It was so valuable. So if you have any questions, please let myself know. Monica Keltz, which I think actually Monica, oh, I see her.
I'm here.
She has the opportunity to also co-teach this with Monica Reynolds. So we get both Monicas for the price of one. How lucky are we? Did I miss anything you would like to add on to this, Mon?
No, guys, this took us months to write and prepare. So when it launched about a year ago, we launched it in Austin. We filled the room. She's had a full room every time there. It's not just for admin. So it's also great for agents building a team. Again, it's 21 playbooks on paper, and then there's about 18 to 20 additional you guys get virtually. So it's fantastic. It has everything you can think of that's real estate. I highly encourage doing it.
When we talk about value, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, keep me honest, Monica, but I believe we have people traveling from California just to attend this. So,
yeah, we wanted to keep it local to Missouri, but we've opened it up to everyone just due to the signups, just to get Monica here. So we have opened it up to others, but our first signups were from California.
Yep. So this is a rare opportunity. Bethany, were you raising?
How many more do you need to? Make it
I
successful?
believe our minimum was 40 for Monica to attend. I would like to at least see 60 to 80 if possible. So any referral partners that you have, share this out to them. I'm going to be sending email blasts to all the OPs today to have them share out. I know it's a little weird with the timing of family reunion and all of that, but like I said, we do have a payment plan option if this is something you're interested in. Thanks for being on the call, Monica.
Very cool.
What a surprise. I love it.
All right, you jumped on me.
All right, awards night. So get your calendars out or your phones, whatever you use for calendar. We have several things coming up to put on your calendar. Our awards night is March 22nd, 6 p.m. at the Old Glass Place. That's a cool logo. Who did that?
One of the many amazing people.
That is cool. I love that. Okay, so that is a big party night. If you've never been to a Keller Williams event, they're fun. It's not a stuffy awards party. You're going to enjoy that. Also, continuing ed license renewal. Here's the CE cheap discount code. Looking for it? I hate these glasses.
It's like there.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah, it's there. I saw it yesterday.
Okay. And Nicole has the info on it. Get your CE through this. Get it done before September, or if you're a broker before June.
KW 1024.
KW 1024. There. Oh yeah. Way down there. I see it. And that gets you the whole package for $48, I believe.
If you have a broker's license, June 30th. If you have a salesperson, September 30th. If you decide you want to get your broker's license, like we had the wonderful Wim Oaks get his broker's license yesterday, it now pushed his CE deadline up to now June. So just fun fact. I believe also, if anyone gets licensed, I think after August, then they don't have to do the CE, but if it's before August and you get licensed, so if you talk to anybody that is going through licensing school, they will have to do that.
And if you're online, Nicole put the RSVP in the chat there, so make sure you get signed up for that. It is a fun party. Come to that.
Real quick,
Yeah.
there was something about a mandatory senior class.
Mandatory senior.
There was like in continuing education, there was some, I'll catch you later.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we're not gonna go much on these because I got a ton of slides from Dr. Yoon with Mar, the main economist. So we're gonna skip some of our local stuff right now. You get those every week on the internal thing also. Also, this is a recap of stuff you get every Sunday night. That's why we don't spend a lot of time here. Robert's a great teacher on forums, so I want to point out for that. Your stats for the month are here. Go through this video because it has all the stats for local. But then I also want to show you something I learned yesterday. Did you know RPR has AI put into it?
Imagine that.
So the guy that was there took these basic directions and then he told it to do this.
Can you say what RPR is for people that may not know?
I never use it because I just tried to log in. I'm still on my Coldwell Banker email on it. That's how far back I was on it. But it's one of our tools. I always use CRS, RPR. They're both similar. So he put this in. Please emulate an expert marketing content writer using a warm inviting tone with some excitement to rewrite the following listing descriptions for MLS. Use good SEO techniques, create a call to action to setting a showing for the home soon, limit description to 1,000 characters. Went on through all this. And in 20 seconds, it had written out a whole listing description. AI is coming. The people that don't use it are not going to be advancing as well as those that do. So start plugging into them. But inside of RPR, it has AI stuff built in already, and Command does all over the place too. Okay, other awards ceremony, GSBR is April 4th, get your tickets for that. And then we have some of our people teaching on this. And then we're going through quick, because like we said, we had a lot of stuff. So the big thing today is Red Day, which stands for Renew, Energize, Donate. What is Red Day about?
So the second Thursday of May is when every KW office across the world shuts their office down and we give back to a local charity that we have selected. So this year Amanda Huff is our culture chair and she'll come up here and share the committee that we have selected. The really cool thing about this year is we're taking it outside of Springfield. We're not just going to be in Springfield, we're going to be in multiple other locations. So if you know other vendor partners that want to also be a part of those locations, let us know, or other agents. Last year we built a lot of beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We've been to the Rare Breed, we've been to Eden's Village, we've been to Harmony House, just to name a few. So I'm super excited to talk about this year.
Yep. So do you and your gang want to come up? Let's welcome the Red Day Committee. And I'm going to unshare so everybody can see your pretty faces.
And there is a lot that goes into planning a Red Day. I'm not sure if you all know or have seen the scale of it. It's countless meetings, hours, and a lot of preparation to ensure you keep everybody on task, because we know everyone likes to add their own creativity into it, and getting everything done. So what do you have for this year?
So this year we are doing the Dream Center, and Amy actually has been in contact with them and knows more about what we're doing. So I'll let her talk about it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let Cassie start. Actually, she's gonna tell us what Red Day is for those who have not participated in the past. So let's start with Red Day and then we'll go into this.
So this started in 2009 and we take the second Thursday of the month of May, and all of Keller Williams across the country and worldwide, I think, close their offices to go give back to the community, go do something that they support the community. And it is an all-day thing that we do that day, and it's hands-on and it's people-oriented and it's a lot of fun. And then behind those scenes, we're over here raising money. And that's what a lot of places do, is make money for those charities. But we like to do the hard work and do the money work. So that's what we're doing this year for the Dream Center.
Okay, so the Dream Center, for those of you that don't know, is a local organization. I'm gonna read a little bit about what they do from their website. I encourage you all to go and check it out. We're also gonna have a couple of tour dates available in March, so that anyone can go with us to the facility before Red Day and hear every single thing that they do. But the Dream Center has an academy for small children. So they have a pre-K program. They also have an after-school program, and they have programs for adult education to help bring them out of poverty and learn some of the life skills they may not have learned from their families growing up. They have classrooms that need to be organized, cleaned, painted. They have a fairly new facility, but some projects were not completed and they already have some wear and tear. They also have some exterior projects for us. They have some shelving units that need to be built, and we're gonna create baskets for the kids to take home for the summer. So things that they can have fun with, but also food donations, because a lot of these kids participate in the backpack program, but that's not accessible in the summertime.
How many of you were in KW in 2017? Yeah, so okay, that was our 2017 Red Day project, was the Dream Center. So it'll be exciting to go back and be able to add to what we've done before.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's
So we will be needing T-shirt sponsors to help with raising money for Red Day. We will all have T-shirts to wear on Red Day. So be watching for that.
Can I show something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
If your t-shirt does not have paint on it or dirt by the end of the day, this is mine from a few years ago. I wore it on purpose
Can
today.
you show them the back?
Very dirty.
The back?
Yeah, can we see the back of your shirt?
I don't think this one has.
I don't think.
Oh, this is a sad, sad shirt. So we wanna have one big sponsor up here, and we wanna have 18 little sponsors down here. If we're able to do that, that should help us cover the cost of the bowling night, like actually getting the bowling alley reserved, and it should cover the cost of the t-shirts. So then when we go to sell the t-shirts and when we have the bowling night, those costs are already covered and we can take all of those proceeds and put them towards the project.
So, yeah, and what we did is last year, if you remember our t-shirt, they had their logos on them and it was really good size, probably like a 2x2 or I can't tell you. But they were really good size. We had 18 little and then we had a primary sponsor that had a nice big logo. But we did the math and if we could get 18 sponsors and a premium logo, it will cover bowling night and t-shirt costs. And so 100% of everything that you guys spend as agents goes to the Dream Center. And then is bowling next? No. Okay,
Go for
okay, we'll go to it. So bowling night's coming back. I know we had a good time last year. We're going to the same place at Enterprise Lanes. It'll be on April 2nd. Put that on your calendar. That's right, right? April 2nd?
I think so.
Yeah,
She's got my phone.
Because it's my daughter's birthday, so that's why I remember. So April 2nd at the bowling alley, we're going to have single purchases and we're gonna have premium purchases. We've also gotten with them to make sure that they have enough bartenders because that was an issue last year. So they even wrote that down too, so that they 2020 there. So we're gonna have enough bartenders, we're gonna have enough food servers. We're also
We're
gonna
be able
do.
to pre-order food. so
Pre-order
that you don't have
food.
To wait for it.
So
Schedule your time.
anything that kind of got in the way last year of your good time, we've kind of fixed that. So we want to make sure that we do that.
Okay, so
Which
we
was
have-
waiting for your drink.
So let's so we have t-shirt opportunities for sponsor to get
Yes.
purchased. We have the bowling night that you can reserve a lanes to start raising money on. Okay,
Well,
and then
first-
let's talk about.
And also for sponsors, you can sponsor the t-shirt, you can sponsor bowling night, and you can sponsor Red Day itself if you're a vendor. And we definitely want those of you who are showing up in here every single week to be the first people that we talk to.
Cool. Okay, so we have those two. What else?
Then we have donations that we need for the bowling night because we had so much fun with that last year. So if you know somebody or auction, yeah, for the auction, it was silent auction and live auction, which is crazy, and then raffles, so you can buy tickets. So if you know somebody that has a small business that want to donate something, we don't need extravagant things. We need a couple extravagant things. So we have that big auction.
Wow. Yeah.
But we raised, I think, almost 13,000 just in the auction part of it.
How much are the sponsorships? You guys have that figured out
We
yet?
don't have the levels yet. We have an idea of what we want to charge for the t-shirts, but we don't have the sponsorship levels for each event yet.
But not crazy.
Affordable.
crazy.
Right, it's going to be
That's
affordable.
subjective.
That's true.
Well, I don't know, we're spenders.
These are spenders.
I know, I'm like, let's see, what business are you guys gonna sponsor?
Start high.
So in March, we're going to have some dates where we can get some of you to tour the Dream Center so you can see what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be impacting it. Also, we will be looking for sponsors to help us make this happen because we have a few people on our committee, but we'd always love to have more who would help us make it happen. And if you don't know, I actually live in Lebanon, so I'm also putting together the Lebanon Red Day. And if you're an outlying office, we'd love to talk to you about maybe doing your own Red Day in your area as well. Because like Mike said, we want to have 5 different spaces of Red Day.
So we have Springfield, Lebanon, and I believe West Plains. So we're maybe gonna look at a location north in the Bolivar area
Yep.
and then maybe something more west.
And just so you know, we do need to vet whatever group you're looking at sponsoring,
Mhm.
just so that you wouldn't believe how things can get weird. So we just gotta make sure everything's good everywhere.
Yep.
I'm gonna put them on the spot. McDonald's, are you on the call? On the call?
On the Zoom.
Yeah, on the Zoom?
I didn't see them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see Rachel and team. I don't know if they're,
She's got her hand
Put
raised.
our hands up.
I think that's the mouse.
Yes.
Okay. Do you wanna talk about what you all are doing in West Plains?
I don't think.
I guess not.
I don't think they
Okay.
spoke. Oh, Rachel says you're here. Okay. So maybe while they unmute themselves. So, okay, so let's kind of break it down.
Sorry.
Hello. That's Jesse. Jesse, what do you have to tell us about your Red Day or if anything at this point?
Well, we've gone ahead and secured a couple of vendors. We've got some food trucks. We've got a dunk tank. We've got a bounce house and a slide. We've got the location locked down. It's going to be near our new office that our team is moving to in a couple months. We're going to be doing a canned food drive and donations for our annual Christmas toy drive as well.
Awesome, love that. Okay, so if you know anybody in the West Plains area, get them connected. Okay,
Awesome.
so let's sum it up because we have a lot of high D people in here, right? So details are not their thing. So
Money, we need money, money, sponsors,
And
gift
attendance.
baskets, items for silent light, and absolutely attendance. We need attendance at
Volunteers.
We need
all-
some volunteers.
at the tours, at the bowling night, and at Red Day itself.
And at your
And
committee.
we need more volunteers.
when does your committee meet if someone's interested?
So I try to get here on Tuesdays because I am in Lebanon or Zoom in. So
Okay.
usually it's Tuesdays, not
After
every
meeting.
Tuesday, but after team meeting.
Okay, perfect. So then Amanda will be the point person if you have any questions, or any of these ladies, for that matter, if you need to know on the information. Okay,
Oh,
any
question?
questions? Yes.
I missed the date of Red Day.
Oh,
Second, no,
May
No,
9th.
Second
Thursday.
We don't know.
May 9th.
Sometime this spring, it'll be
Second
fine.
Thursday in May, May 9th. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Thanks, ladies. This
Thank
is
you all.
exciting. Can't wait to go back.
We'll follow this up with a post into the Keller Williams group so you can reference it.
Fantastic.
Perfect. How exciting. I joined in later of 2017, so I wasn't able to be a part of the Dream Center project. So I'm super excited to be there at the very beginning.
And this shows our culture outside of the walls. That's the best thing of it, is it helps bless people that are needing help. I saw Sarah put on there, yes, we helped to get the Dream Center set up when they first opened. It'll be great to get back and help them more to do great, they do great work.
Sarah was on the leadership team during that era.
Yeah. Okay, so again, the more help and the earlier on, it makes it easier. So we need your help on that. Okay, this is speed slides. These are a bunch of slides from Dr. Lawrence Yoon.
Before we start,
Yes.
will they have access to these or do they need to take pictures? Because there'll be cameras everywhere. Do we just need to send
Okay,
it to them
so
later?
number one, these are ugly because I took pictures from the back of the room to get these slides.
Okay.
If you had me share last week's slides to you, these are already added to it.
Okay.
If you want these, email me, MikeBrown417@kw.com, and you'll get last week's post-pandemic slides and these. They're all combined together for a presentation I'm doing Wednesday. So you'll get the whole thing, but if you already got it, it should be there for you.
And this is recorded and it will be put on our YouTube. So if you need to go back and
Yep.
rewatch it, you can. So don't feel like you're missing anything.
Yep, and this is not a deep dive on these because he was an hour and a half on this, and we're gonna do it all in a few less minutes than that. Okay, so, and again, I apologize for the ugliness of these. I was sitting in the back of the room, took pictures of it. Annual existing home sales, worst year since 1995. Existing means not new. So that's what they mean by the word existing. So when they looked at all the numbers, and most of these stats run up to yesterday, or no,
This is
Friday.
2023 on
Yeah.
that slide. Sorry, I
So-
wasn't laughing at when that popped up. Terrible sight laugh. I was laughing because you said it was crooked. It was
Oh,
crooked.
yeah, they're, and the same lady's head is in most of the pictures you'll see.
These higher bars look to be 2003, 4, 5, and 6 respectively.
Yeah.
So you can see that right there.
So if you struggled through the end of the last year, that's why. It was a rough year. It was the least, it was down 18-19%, again, except for new sales, which is an interesting thing that comes through here.
Does that go by units or volume? Does it?
That is, I believe that's units.
Okay.
Okay, here's new home sales. Third best year since 2008. So that's, again, we have so many new builders joining KW. It's kind of interesting that we're combining forces there as this is growing. So that stayed up high. So this shows you sort of the existing home inventory, new compared to existing. There was a big disconnect there. So we haven't had enough homes built since 2008.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so that's when we got behind and they've still never caught up. So that's why there's such a demand there.
When we're in Vegas, it'll actually be the builders convention also happening. So
Exactly.
a great way to find out some more information on building there too.
Yeah, so 30-year mortgage rates, this is what they're showing. You can see where they peaked. That was, I think, around August, September, and they've gradually gotten down. Nationwide, they're still showing around 6.7 or a little bit higher. I know here I've seen 6.2, down to 6, up to 6.5, all over the place. But they think it's gonna keep going down. The bottom is what the Fed did to try for their basic rate. So they dropped it down during COVID to try and get everything going, and they have not moved it in many, many months.
Yeah, so this bottom line started at March of 2020 and extended all the way into February 2022. So this is the time frame we're looking at down there.
And the gap between is gonna be important also. I'm not sure what the Fannie Mae Home Purchasing Sentiment Index is, but whatever it is, it's building up too. So Fannie Mae, yeah, like I said, this was going fast and I was getting notes as quick as I could. But the rates are, or the number of sales are going up also here. So in other words, a lot of things are starting to look positive. Pending contracts are turning to an up slope also. So we went down some last quarter or the end of last year. You can see where it's starting to gradually go up again. So I hope you're feeling a little excitement and optimism for the year so far. Rate declines, and I'm not a Fed rate looker type person. So a lot of these he got really in depth on pivoting. It has been gradually going down and it's starting to come back up. Here's the big things I saw. CPI is your consumer price index. And it will not be at a good spot till it gets to 2%. It's down to 3.1%. But here's the big thing. The rent component of that is the hugest jump. Look what rent has done. And this is going from, I think it's like 2000-ish or 2020 up. That is a big component of CPI. And as rents start going down, which some areas are seeing, some aren't, that will help bring that CPI down, which will then help the Fed to maybe lower rates again. This is an interesting thing. Apartment construction, 40-year high in the last 3 years. So why has rent not calmed down? Well, technically, we think it has. If you ask private landlords and rental people, they're saying there's more vacancies. But the Fed isn't, or the government. So the unofficial data says rent levels are going down or starting to because there's more vacancies. The government data is not at that level. Government's not in touch with normal stuff, craziness. So if rents do start going down or stabilizing, that will help things. Another crazy thing in CPI, auto insurance has gone through the roof.
Wow.
And they said some of it is because of, so many police people they can't handle the little things anymore because there's so many other things going on, or the random break-ins on cars and and I think even maybe some of the Turo type things where people are using their cars for commercial purposes. But this is a big factor in CPI. And since auto insurance is going higher, that's pushing that rate up again also. Consumer interest rates. The purpley blue line is credit card rates. They've gone up. Middle line is personal loans. A lot of people, to get through the shortage of money, are doing personal loans or lines of credit. And then the bottom is new car loans. So the debt is going up on everybody. All these things are kind of factors in the CPI. Here's what they're predicting from NAR. Future rent growth should be calmer. Future CPI should be calmer, but further pivot could be limited by the budget deficit. The orange line is how much money the government's collecting. The purple or blue bars are how much they're spending. So look what happened the last few years. COVID hit, we spent a lot to get out of it, and we've never stopped. Yes. Collective US we. Last year, the amount collected went down, but the amount spent still went up. That's causing some of the interest problems we're looking at. This one was shocking. The orange line is the same line we were just looking at. The blue line is that's the amount we're spending on interest each year. The purple is how much we're spending on defense. We're spending more on interest than we are defending our country right now. And it doesn't look like that's going to change for a while. Okay, long-term real estate demand comes from jobs, jobs, jobs. It's hard to hire people right now, isn't it? This is where COVID hit and all the jobs dropped out. But look, we're actually up above where we were before that. There are now more jobs than there were. So again, there's a sense of optimism starting to hit. We came through a rough fourth quarter, but if you keep looking at what's coming and you keep doing the right things, it's going to work out. Unemployment rate. So it was going kind of normal. COVID hit, and then it came back and we're about where we were before. But that's people looking for jobs. Here's an interesting one. The number of people that aren't looking for jobs anymore, either because they're retired or they got out of things. We were normal, COVID hit, and it stayed up higher. There are a lot more people not unemployed, but just not looking for employment. And I don't know how that factors one way or the other. It's just an interesting thing that.
I think it goes into the inflation. For most people, it's a lot cheaper to stay at home, so you don't have to pay for daycare. If one parent or the other.
Absolutely.
And I think you're seeing a lot of people staying out of the workforce just because they may not have, they may need to do that in order to save the money on that side. But it was interesting on the labor portion of it,
Mhm,
because inflation hasn't met where wages are at.
exactly.
And so people are, I mean, they may sell the job, but there's trying to find that income for that portion.
And I
of it.
wondered,
And
as
it's-
you said
it's
that,
labor cost.
is it higher because people have two jobs? And these are W-2 jobs. These are not 1099s like us. But it could be,
So it's interesting, I'm trying to think who I had a conversation with the other day. They lived in Austin, Texas, and for them, it was normal to have two jobs. Like, it was an expectation almost. And if you didn't have another job, it was like, oh, why do you not have two jobs? And so when they moved here, they just naturally thought that they needed to have two jobs because it was so common in Austin.
wow.
And it may be cost of living, it may be other factors. So that kind of is interesting when you look at that, how many people may have to or think it's just normal to have multiple jobs.
So if you've got a spouse, you have 4 incomes coming in to make it work.
Well, and you saw it last week when we talked about the average age of whenever you're a first time home buyer, it's
Absolutely.
35. So it would make sense if you have to have multiple jobs in order to obtain your first
Yeah.
home.
So this is interesting. This is the jobs gained since pre-COVID's record high. Missouri's up 3.2%. You got me curious on Texas now. It's showing 9.3% more. But again, if everyone is working 2 jobs, that's very interesting on there. Here's a slide. Nope, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Payroll jobs in Missouri. We dropped in COVID, and now you can see we're up above those levels. And these are payroll. These are W-2 jobs. So this is not self-employed 1099. I don't know. I would assume this doesn't account any gig type jobs, meaning Uber, all those type of things. So this is just W-2s. Annual economic growth suggests more future jobs are coming.
Which is interesting on the GDP, because when you have 2 negative months of GDP, that means we're in a recession portion of it. So it'd be interesting to look at those at a monthly, because it says overall 2023, we're still above. But if there's negative or consistent months of it, then that means recession.
Yeah. Okay, here's the fun one. This is what you share with people. Home price appreciation since COVID. We're at 45.5%. So if you bought your house before COVID, you've almost gained half the value. The 2 top ones are Florida, which went up, I think it's,
65.3%.
yeah. And then Maine, which is also hard to read.
4.9.
And they said Maine is a lot of people who worked in New York and realized, I don't have to live in the city anymore. I can work from home. So they went up to Maine.
Interesting.
But your home price, so anybody before then, that's a great contact call with somebody. Hey, you've been in your home 4 to 5 years. Guess what? You got a lot of equity in that
I
thing.
love Elise Riley's term when it's unearned appreciation. Yeah, because of the times you had unearned appreciation.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Didn't fix that.
yeah. It's the same seventies bathroom.
Like walk in, I'm like, you didn't do anything, you just crapped in your house.
This is an interesting stat. Region 9 for NAR is Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri. And so this is all 4 showing the appreciation throughout. During COVID, Missouri dropped more than anybody else. But other than that, it's pretty well just on par, except we're now gaining more than the other 3 states around us. Here's one to share with your people who are like, I don't want to buy a house yet. The little purple or blue line is wealth comparison. Those are renters. The orange is owners, people who bought a home.
So in 2019, for renters, it was 7,300 compared to 295,000. In 2022, it was 10,400 to 396,000.
So you can continue renting and paying your landlord's mortgage, or you can become a homeowner
Well, and that's been
yourself.
my whole thought when you said that maybe rent prices were going to stabilize. If there's still a lack of inventory, there's still a demand of housing for somewhere because people still need places to live.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if I see rent prices stabilizing in a way, if there's still a demand for them. That's why apartment
Mhm.
complexes are coming up so quickly to
Yeah.
meet that demand. It'll be interesting.
But this is a great thing to share with people who are like, I just want to keep renting. Like a friend of mine who's now in his 26th year of renting the same apartment. And I've tried to make him realize you could have bought a house by now. Okay, now, this one's crazy. The orange line is the cost of double wide homes. The blue is single wide. Look at how the cost of mobile homes has gone up since the pandemic. So they're saying now a typical double wide home is around $160,000. And it's a depreciating asset unless you put it on a foundation, put it on land.
Be interesting to also look like an Airstream. How many people went nomad, like,
Yeah.
and all of that.
Okay, so here's some of the things NAR is predicting. They think the 30-year fixed rate will be between 6 and 7% by early spring. In our area, we're kind of in the low sixes already, so I am hoping we go, I think if we go under 6, this place goes crazy. I think buyers come out of the woodwork. And then that means sellers who've been waiting, that's the other thing they said, if you're at a 2.5% interest rate and you're trying to buy something at 8, you're gonna say no. But at 6, it's a little more doable to look at the numbers and go, well, it gets me to a better house. Rents will calm down further, possibly hold down CPI and allow the Fed to cut interest rates. Community banks are suffering from high interest rates. What they meant by that, community banks do more commercial loans. And commercial loans have a whole different factor of figuring this in. And so they're actually at a point where they might, to make the Fed look good, they may do some adjustments there, which will also help interest rates come down. He got into a real complicated thing on it, but these 3 things here, and then the third one, spread with the government bond, with a return to normal. You'll see that in a second here too. So these 3 things, they are thinking we're gonna see things open up. The spread means when it's between, when these 2 rates are that have a gap, something's gotta happen and the Fed will adjust things. Here's another thing that happened in the last 2 years. They're saying these people have not bought and they're tired of waiting. In the last 2 years, there've been 7 million newborn babies, 3 million marriages, 1.5 million divorces, 7 million people turning 65 years old, 4 million deaths, 5 million net new jobs, and 50 million job switches. Almost every one of these things means people are moving to a different house. And they haven't for the last 2 years because these interest rates have finally freaked them out. There's pent up demand, and when the interest rates drop, this is gonna flood the market.
They're probably still waiting on the 3 or 4% interest rate.
Yeah, which is not gonna come back.
And they've waited this 2 years now.
Yeah. But 3 and 4, but what's weird, people are so used to 8, when it goes under 6 now, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's cheap money again.
Well, an industry average over the last 40 years has been 6%. So when we're looking relatively, like we've had a very big peak and valley. So if we're looking at that 40-year average, you're still doing really well. I mean, I remember all the time when Ron Steffes would be in the training center, and anytime we would talk about interest rates, he would always say, I got in the business when it was 18%. And just having those, Lee's like, yep. And so having that perspective, yeah, exactly. And so talking about those things of Gary Keller, he started in real estate when it was 18% as well. And so
Yeah.
having that perspective really just kind of brings it back into focus of what kind of conversations do we have, and the renter versus homeowner in terms of wealth is a brilliant slide to put in front of them when you talk about that.
Here's another great one to use. Total home sales, they look at rising over the next 2 years. The orange line is existing home sales. The bluish purplish thing is new homes. New homes are going solid. So our builders in our group, keep at it and buckle your seatbelts.
And these last 2 bars are forecasts. So it's 2024 forecast and 2025 forecast.
So in other words, if you've been struggling to hold on to things, keep holding on because it looks like sunny days are coming, sort of. Risks, lawsuit on buyer representation. If you'll just keep doing things the right way, that will help you not have lawsuits coming up. And the community bank commercial real estate thing. They said basically that's something where the Fed, to fix it quickly, the Fed would have to look like they did something stupid. And the Fed's not gonna look stupid. So they're balancing it, but when it gets balanced, it should drop loan rates again. Not home loan rates, but the whole general one, which should drop everything. This was interesting. We talked about this some last week. Look at the percentage of people that had 0% home down payment, 16%. 1 to 5, 22. This is just some interesting stats.
26% of buyers though put more than 20% down. It's the largest stat on there. Second highest one
Yeah.
was 22% of 1 to 5%.
When I was a first-time home buyer, I was like, please help me put anything down. So first-time home buyer challenges. This is where we're important. 61% say finding the right property is hard. This is their reasons for struggling. 38%, we can't help them with this. They got to save for their down payment. Those darn spenders. Understanding the process, 38%. Paperwork, 23%. Getting a mortgage and appraisal, 17%. All of those except for saving is why they need us as lenders, as partners, as realtors. Look at how much they need us because that's the hardest part of it too.
And when we have talked about the lawsuit and what is our value proposition for whatever the percentage that you choose to charge, here's your value proposition of how you can help them. You can go through and say, hey, I can help you find the right property. I have access to the X, Y, and Z. Or I will go door knock and find it for you. Saving for a down payment, great. I have a partner that will help you talk about how you can get your finances in order, maybe fix your credit on that side. Understanding the process, great. Here's from transaction to close. This is everything you can expect. This is how I help you. Do you actually have that documented of how you can help them? Or is it just memory? Paperwork, great, you can fix that, dot the i's, cross the t's. Getting a mortgage and appraisal, great, I have a lender partner that can help in that. This is your value proposition. You can take all this, R&D it, and there's your listing packet, there's your buyer packet
So
right
if somebody
there.
says, why should I pay you? There it is, right there. I'm gonna take all these things off.
And
your
put these
plate.
stats in there, and this is according to NAR. So right here, 61% of buyers have trouble finding the right property. You could help solve that problem 61% of the time.
Absolutely. And understanding the process. If you're not sitting down doing a strategy session, especially with a new buyer and explaining the whole thing. My coach had a great comment the other day. His phrase was, what happens next? And you typically use it as a sentence, but you can use it as a question also. The minute you're done with something with somebody, you say, so what happens next is, and you get them to the next spot. I've always heard, if your client's asking you a question, that means you didn't do your job of preparing them for what the next step was. So have your process, and every conversation ends with, so here's what happens next. We're gonna do this and this for you. It can also be a question. What happens next? You know, if they're asking that. But the more you are accurate with your things, the better. Here's a great one. Would home buyer use the same agent again or recommend to others? 75% said they definitely use the same one. 15% said probably. Then probably not, definitely not, don't know. Problem is, most agents do not stay in touch with their people.
They would if they could remember your name.
Yeah. You know, the average person is in 12 realtors databases. So if you're not calling your clients, 11 other people are. So call them, stay in touch. Happy spring. Remember to open your crawl space event, something where you're touching base with people. They'll use you again if they remember who you are. This was an interesting one too. First time buyers, race and ethnicity. You can see the different stats there. But what was also exciting is home seller race and ethnicity, meaning people who've already bought a home. The lower ones are raising. It's still nowhere near where it should be, but we are seeing more people from different people groups that are on the second and third home, which is great. I think, and that's part of Keller Williams' equity thing, opportunities for all. The best way to build wealth in this country is by buying homes, and we can help people do that. Commercial properties. They are seeing commercial property prices falling. The yellow line, I believe, is COVID, or the orange line. And this is some of that he was talking about with the rate hikes. There's this balance when it becomes better, helps small banks. And the Fed doesn't look like they were hurting small banks, so they're gonna figure out how to fix that again. I'm not gonna try and talk the numbers because it would not be accurate what I say on it. But the fact that this is an issue and they're gonna have to make it look better for them is gonna help all the small banks, which then help lending also. Okay, so we'll get a lot more info next week at Family Reunion. If you can come to the first, is it called State of the Company? They will go through all these stats and more in crazy detail. The number of analysts we have on KW is gonna blow your mind. So this is NAR stuff, and then you wanna see the KW, which is not just KW stats, it is everything else also. Real estate professionals that have systems, tools, and models, and that stick to these systems, tools, and models will have a strong 2024. You've got all the tools you need from KW. If you're not using them, you're actually at a disadvantage.
I was on a call yesterday, and the very last slide, most convicting slide ever, it says, Keller Williams is a company of system, tools, and models. It is 100% your choice if you're choosing to use them or not. Ugh, yikes. So, they're out there, right? It's the bumpers in a bowling lane whenever you're going through. It may, it keeps you in line. It gives you an ending place of where you need to go. Yet, once you have the model down, you can start adding your creativity into it. But it's your choice if you'd like to do it or not.
So I know we went through those fast and we didn't get in detail a lot of them. What questions or observations did you have from it? Anyone?
So one of the slides was talking about car leasing and car payments and the
auto
interest,
insurance, yeah.
of what, not the insurance, of what you're spending on
rates,
vehicles, yep. And so actually in our wealth building on Friday, so again, it all ties in. It says, it was an exercise we all had to work through, and it said, take all of your motor vehicles and add up the value together. So if you could sell all of your vehicles today, what is the value? Divide that number by your total income. And Mark King had said, if you spent over 50% of your, if it is over 50% of your annual income, then you have overspent. So when we talk about one of the things, when we say how to avoid taxes at the end of the year, maybe buy a new vehicle, right? It's a business expense. But are you overspending and you're not using that money accurately? You're actually hurting your wealth building strategy versus adding to it. You're just avoiding taxes instead of maybe you could use the money to buy a property. Yes, Blake?
My since it's 2018 and it's still like the number one hurdle is just make sure they remember your name. Like you keep waiting for that slide to change. It just hasn't changed for 5 years.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
And all you gotta do, you're not calling them each time and saying, hey, you wanna buy a house? Do you wanna sell your house? It is just staying in touch with them. It's called TOMA, right? Top of mind awareness. If they're not hearing from you, that was a whole presentation somebody was selling at one point. But you've gotta keep talking to your people, because you care about them. They're not just there's a difference in a customer and a client. A customer comes to you to buy something. A client is someone you are representing and you have a vested interest in them and you care about them. And a lot of times they're your friends.
Normally, those are the people that will use you definitely throughout.
Absolutely. All right, again, glad we could get those stats for you. We'll have even more crazy stuff after that. It is not too late to go to family reunion. Yes, there'd be a little challenge with getting it, but you know what? Everything's hard. It's just choose your heart.
So a couple of reminders. One, no team meeting next week. We are doing the live streams down here. So make sure everybody has that on their calendar. March 5th is when we will be doing the panel and recap of family reunion. However, March 7th will be the offsite mastermind from 3 to 4:30, where we'll really dive into these graphics. All of the state of the company, all of the graphics are normally shared to us 48 hours afterwards. So we'll be able to post and share those out so you can have them.
And both those events are open for any agents anywhere. So if you're talking to somebody who wants that, and it's not just KW data, it's all realtor data. So invite people to both those events.
Yep. And then, oh, I had one other thought. Oh, yeah. Reach out to the Red Day if you want to be involved and if you want to help support the Dream Center and the other avenues that we have.
Thank you all for coming. The crowds are getting bigger for team meetings each week. That's why we've gone to less tables and more rows. And they're still filling up. So this is exciting. Thank you all that are online. See a bunch of you at family reunion. Everybody else have a great week.